There's something in your refrigerator right now that could be silently aging your body faster than time itself. And no, this isn't about sugar or fat or calories. The truth is, it might just be the vegetables you trust the most. Yes, vegetables. The very things we've all been told are the cornerstone of a healthy diet, especially for seniors like you and me. And don't get me wrong, in most cases, that's absolutely true. I'm a geriatric nutritionist. I've spent over 25 years helping seniors improve their health through smarter food choices. And vegetables? They're usually the first thing I recommend. But what if I told you that some of the most common vegetables in your daily meals might be doing more harm than good, especially if you're over 60? You see, as we age, our bodies change. Our digestion slows. Our kidneys and liver don't detoxify like they used to. Even our gut bacteria shifts in ways that make us more vulnerable to certain compounds in food. Compounds that, in younger years, we might have processed without a second thought. And this is where the danger lies. Because some vegetables, despite their reputation as superfoods, can cause inflammation, interfere with nutrient absorption, or even quietly damage your joints and blood vessels when consumed regularly in older age. Not because they're bad in themselves, but because our bodies are no longer equipped to handle them the way we once did. You might be thinking, but I don't eat those every day. Or, I've been eating them for years. How can they suddenly be a problem? Well, that's exactly it. These aren't acute poisons. They're slow saboteurs, the kind that accumulate, that quietly chip away at your vitality, your energy, your memory, until one day you find yourself struggling to get out of a chair or remember where you left your keys. I'm not here to scare you, but I am here to warn you, because no one else will. Food manufacturers won't tell you. Doctors often overlook this because they're trained in symptoms, not root causes. And most nutrition advice online, it's aimed at the general population, not at seniors whose bodies function very differently past age 60. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 vegetables you should never touch again if you're over 60, and 3 powerful ones you absolutely must eat more of, starting today. And trust me, number 2 on the never list shocks even seasoned nutritionists. So if you're here because you care about your health, or you've noticed your body isn't as quick or strong as it used to be, you're in the right place. Drop a comment that says, "I'm here," if you're ready to take back control of your aging. All right, are you ready? Let's dive into the truth about the vegetables that could be secretly hurting or healing you. Let's start with the first hidden danger. Eggplant. Yes, eggplant. That glossy, deep purple vegetable that looks harmless in your ratatouille or roasted veggie mix. You've probably been told it's healthy, low in calories, full of fiber, even has antioxidants. But what if I told you this innocent-looking vegetable might be making your joints ache, your stomach bloat, and your body silently inflame? Let me tell you about Marjorie, one of my patients from Ohio. She's 72. When she first came to see me, she walked into my office with a cane and pain. Pain in her knees, hips, even her hands. She had been diagnosed with osteoarthritis years ago, and her doctors told her, "It's just part of getting older." But Marjorie wasn't convinced. She told me, "I take my meds, I stretch every day, I eat healthy, lots of vegetables, but I still feel worse every month. I'm stiff, I'm swollen, I'm tired." So we did a deep dive into her diet, and guess what kept showing up? 3 times a week? Eggplant, grilled eggplant parmesan, baba ganoush. She loved it. She thought she was doing her body good. But eggplant is a nightshade vegetable, and like tomatoes, peppers, and potatoes, it contains a compound called solanine. Solanine can trigger inflammation, especially in aging bodies where the gut lining is thinner and detoxification is slower. I asked her to cut it out completely for 2 weeks, just as a test. And what happened next? On day 10, she called me and said, "Doctor, I'm not sure what's happening, but I haven't needed my cane in 2 days." Her swelling had gone down, her joints felt looser, her digestion improved. All from removing one vegetable she had been told was healthy. Now, not everyone will react the same, but for seniors over 60, eggplant can be a silent saboteur, invisible, untraceable, yet powerful. So if you've got arthritis or bloating, or you just feel off, Try cutting eggplant out for 2 weeks, just like Marjorie did, because the vegetables you think are helping you might be the very ones holding you back. And coming up next, a vegetable that pretends to be heart healthy, but can quietly strip minerals from your bones. Trust me, you do not want to miss this one. Now let's talk about one of the most misleading vegetables out there, spinach. Yes, spinach. The so-called superfood that Popeye swore by. The leafy green that's praised by every dietitian, every health magazine, and every heart health commercial. But here's what they don't tell you, especially if you're over 60. Spinach is high, very high, in oxalates. Oxalates are naturally occurring compounds in many plants, but in spinach, the concentration is off the charts. And in seniors, oxalates can quietly wreck your kidneys and weaken your bones. Let me introduce you to Harold, a retired school principal from Arizona. He was 68 when he came to see me. Fit, active, the kind of guy who played golf twice a week and took long walks every morning. But he had one problem. He kept getting kidney stones, 3 times in 1 year. He'd already had 2 minor procedures, was drinking tons of water, and had cut back on salt and red meat, just like his doctor said. But nothing worked. So I asked him to bring in a food log. And guess what was on there every single day? A spinach smoothie. He said, I thought I was doing the right thing. Spinach, banana, almond milk. I even threw in chia seeds. It was my breakfast ritual. And that ritual was quietly overloading his body with oxalates. You see, oxalates don't just pass through the body, they bind to calcium. And when they do, they can form sharp crystals in the kidneys, joints, and even blood vessels. In seniors, where kidney function often declines with age, those crystals don't flush out easily. Instead, they build up, causing kidney stones, joint stiffness, and in some cases, bone demineralization. I told Harold to swap spinach for low oxalate greens like arugula or romaine for just 30 days. 1 month later, he came back beaming. I haven't felt this light in years, he said. No pain, no bloating, and no stones. That's the power of removing what your body can no longer handle, even if it used to be healthy. So if you're over 60 and you've got kidney problems, brittle bones, or strange fatigue, even though you eat clean, take a hard look at your spinach intake, because sometimes the health food is actually the health threat. And if that surprises you, wait till you hear about the next vegetable. It's crunchy, it's colorful, and it could be quietly messing with your thyroid and your energy levels. Let's talk about a so-called superfood that may be doing the exact opposite of what it promises. If you're over 60 and still eating kale regularly, especially raw, this is a warning you can't afford to ignore. Kale has become the poster child for health. It's in smoothies, energy bowls, and diet plans everywhere. But what most people don't know, what almost no one tells seniors, is that kale can quietly damage your thyroid. Here's how. Kale contains goitrogens, compounds that block your thyroid from absorbing iodine, which is crucial to producing thyroid hormones. These hormones regulate your metabolism, your energy, even your body temperature. And as we age, our thyroid naturally becomes more fragile, especially in women. Combine that with daily raw kale, you've got a recipe for exhaustion, brain fog, and unexplained weight gain. Let me give you a real case. Susan, age 65, from Santa Cruz, yoga teacher, organic eater, no junk food, no red meat, no alcohol. She came to see me completely drained. I sleep 8 hours but wake up tired, she said. My hands are freezing. I forget words mid-sentence. And I've gained 10 pounds for no reason. We ran her thyroid labs. Nothing too dramatic, just slightly underactive. But the symptoms were real. I asked her about breakfast. She smiled proudly. Every day, kale smoothie with almond milk, flaxseed, banana, and spinach. There it was, a raw goitrogen bomb every single morning. I asked her to stop just for 4 weeks. No kale. We switched to cooked greens, bok choy, collards, mustard greens, all gentle on the thyroid. By week 3, she came back crying, with relief. I thought this was just aging, but it wasn't. It was food. Science backs this up. A 2016 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that diets high in cruciferous vegetables, when eaten raw, can suppress thyroid function in adults, especially those with marginal iodine intake, which is common among seniors. Kale is not toxic, but if your thyroid is already struggling, it can tip you over the edge. So here's what I recommend. If you like kale, cook it lightly. Steaming reduces goitrogens dramatically. Don't eat it every day. Rotate your greens. Variety is protective. And if you're over 60, watch your thyroid symptoms. Fatigue, cold sensitivity, brain fog, constipation, weight gain. You might not need a pill, you might just need a new vegetable. Now, before we move on, I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt worse after eating foods that are supposed to be healthy? Have you struggled with low energy or thyroid issues in your 60s or beyond? Let me know in the comments. I read everyone, and your story might help someone else. And if you've been feeling betrayed by your food, don't worry. In the next part of this video, we shift gears. Now that you know what to remove, it's time to discover what to eat more of. 3 vegetables your body over 60 will thank you for. To protect your brain, your joints, and your independence. Let's get into it. Now that we've cleared the danger zone, let's move into the healing ground. If you're over 60 and want to protect your heart, improve blood flow to your brain, and even support memory and energy, there's one vegetable that belongs on your plate as often as possible. Beets. Yes, beets. Not glamorous, not trendy, and for some, an acquired taste. But when it comes to aging well, they're one of the most powerful allies your body has. Here's why. Beets are rich in natural nitrates, compounds that your body converts into nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and widens blood vessels. This means better circulation, lower blood pressure, and more oxygen delivery to critical organs, including your brain. A 2017 study in the Journals of Gerontology found that seniors who consume beetroot juice before exercise experience increased blood flow to the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and memory. In plain terms, beets help your brain think younger, and it doesn't stop there. Nitric oxide production naturally declines with age. That's one reason so many older adults feel dizzy when standing, cold in the hands and feet, or mentally sluggish. Beets help reverse that trend, gently and naturally. Let me introduce you to Howard, 72, a retired engineer from Minnesota. He came to me worried about his memory. "I'm not forgetting who I am," he said, "but I'll go into a room and forget why." I start a sentence and blank out halfway through. We reviewed his diet, low in leafy greens, no beets, lots of processed food. I suggested adding roasted beets to lunch 3 times a week and a small glass of beet juice on workout days. Within a month, the change was striking. "It's like someone opened a valve in my brain," he said. "I feel more present. I'm not grasping for words anymore. My wife even noticed I seem sharper." Of course, beets won't solve everything, but for seniors looking to reclaim circulation, mental clarity, and stamina, they're a game changer. Here's how to start. Roast them with olive oil and herbs. Add thin slices to a salad with goat cheese and walnuts. Or try beet juice, but look for low-sugar versions or dilute with water. One caution, beets can temporarily turn urine or stool pink. That's normal, don't panic. And if you have kidney stones or are prone to oxalate issues, talk to your doctor first. But for the vast majority of older adults, beets are not only safe, they're restorative. So if you felt like your brain is slipping or your circulation isn't what it used to be, don't just reach for another supplement. Start with something real, something powerful, something your ancestors grew in the dirt and used to stay sharp into old age. Start with beets. There's a silent threat to seniors that almost no one talks about until it's too late. Cognitive decline linked to high homocysteine levels. Homocysteine is an amino acid that builds up in the blood when certain B vitamins, like folate, are missing. And when levels get too high, they can damage blood vessels, increase stroke risk, and accelerate memory loss. So what does that have to do with vegetables? One word, asparagus. Asparagus is one of the richest natural sources of folate, the key nutrient your body uses to break down homocysteine and protect your brain and blood vessels. It's also high in vitamin K and glutathione, a master antioxidant that helps detoxify the liver and fight cellular aging. And unlike synthetic B vitamin pills, which many seniors don't absorb well, folate from asparagus is easily used by the body. Let me tell you about Geraldine, 69, from Asheville, North Carolina. She came to me after a minor stroke, a warning stroke, as her doctor called it. She was scared but determined not to let it happen again. "I never want to feel that helpless again," she told me. Her labs showed elevated homocysteine, a known risk factor for vascular dementia and recurrent strokes. We didn't just rely on medication. We built a food-based defense plan. I asked her to eat asparagus 3 times a week, grilled, steamed, or baked, however she liked. We combined that with leafy greens, beans, and eggs to naturally rebuild her folate reserves. Within 3 months, her homocysteine dropped nearly 30%. And more than that, she felt different. "My thinking is sharper. I feel more confident driving again," she said. And honestly, asparagus grew on me. I never thought I'd crave a vegetable. Science confirms her experience. A 2019 study in neurology found that older adults with higher folate levels had significantly lower rates of white matter damage and cognitive decline over 5 years. Asparagus isn't flashy, but it's a quiet protector, shielding your brain, heart, and circulation from the inside out. If you're over 60 and not eating asparagus regularly, you're missing one of nature's best defenses. Here's how to enjoy it. Roast it with garlic and lemon. Steam it lightly and drizzle with olive oil. Add chopped asparagus to an omelet or frittata. If it makes your urine smell, don't worry, that's harmless, caused by natural sulfur compounds. A small price for long-term protection. So if you want to think clearly, move confidently, and lower your risk of memory loss, add asparagus to your routine. It's not just a vegetable, it's a vascular shield. If I could pick only one vegetable to put on the plate of every senior I work with, this would be it. Not because it's trendy, not because it's colorful, but because it's quietly one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory vegetables on the planet. And almost nobody talks about it. I'm talking about cooked purple cabbage. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, "Doc, really? Cabbage?" Let me explain. Because this humble veggie is a secret weapon for people over 60. See, purple cabbage is rich in a specific type of antioxidant called anthocyanins. These compounds are the same ones found in blueberries and red wine. Except here's the kicker. When you lightly steam or sauté purple cabbage, those compounds become far more absorbable for older bodies. And that matters because anthocyanins have been shown in clinical studies to reduce C-reactive protein, CRP, a major marker of inflammation, by up to 40% in adults over 60. Less inflammation means less joint pain, less brain fog, and a lower risk of stroke, heart attack, and even cognitive decline. But that's not all. Purple cabbage also contains a unique type of sulfur compound called glucosinolate. When cooked gently, this compound helps your liver detoxify harmful substances, including pesticides, food additives, and even pharmaceutical residues that can build up over time. Let me tell you about one of my patients, Margaret, age 72. She had persistent swelling in her fingers, borderline blood pressure, and was waking up exhausted every day, despite sleeping 8 hours. Doctors told her it was just aging, but I looked deeper, and I realized her diet lacked any real anti-inflammatory vegetables. So we did something simple. We added 1/2 cup of cooked purple cabbage to her lunch every day for 30 days. That's it. No new meds, no intense diet changes. And within 4 weeks, her swelling reduced, her blood pressure stabilized, and she said to me, "I feel lighter, not just in my body, but in my mind too." That's the power of the right vegetable. It doesn't just feed you, it fights for you. It pushes back against the inflammation, toxicity, and stress your body's been carrying for years. And the best part? It's cheap, it's accessible, and it doesn't spike your blood sugar like starchy vegetables do. Now, a quick note. Make sure to cook it gently. Steaming or sautéing is best. Raw cabbage can be harder to digest for seniors and may interfere with thyroid function if eaten in excess. But cooked, it becomes a medicinal food. So next time you're at the store, skip the overpriced superfood snacks and pick up a small head of purple cabbage. Slice it thin, sauté it with a little olive oil, garlic, maybe a splash of apple cider vinegar, and you've got one of the most powerful longevity boosters you can eat. Your joints, brain, and gut will thank you. So what have we learned today? That not all vegetables are created equal. Some can harm, some can heal, and the difference could mean years, real quality years, added to your life. You've now seen the 3 vegetables that you, as a senior, should never touch again because they trigger inflammation, mess with your digestion, and put stress on your aging organs. You've also discovered the 3 vegetables you should absolutely embrace because they help your body fight back, clean out, and thrive even past age 60. But here's the truth most people won't tell you. Nobody is coming to save your health but you. Big food companies? They won't. Most doctors? They don't have the time. Even your friends and family may not understand how food affects you differently now than it did 20 years ago. That's why I made this video, because I believe in your comeback. I believe that at 60, 70, even 80, your best years can still be ahead. But only if you start making smarter, more intentional choices today. So what's your next move? Go check your fridge. Do you see any of those danger vegetables in there? If yes, don't wait. Toss them. Even if you spent money on them. Even if you feel guilty. Your health is worth more than a few dollars. Then head to the store, or better yet, your local farmer's market, and pick up one of those must-eat vegetables. Start with just one. Add it to lunch or dinner this week. Notice how your body responds. And finally, if this video helped you, or even just made you stop and think, please leave a comment that says, "Taking my health back." Let me know you're with me in this, because this isn't just about vegetables. It's about taking control. It's about refusing to accept pain, fatigue, and decline as just part of aging. It's about pushing back, strategically, intentionally, so you can enjoy your years with energy, clarity, and confidence. You deserve that, and I'm here to help you get there. So until next time, eat smart, stay strong, and never stop fighting for your health.